Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to the channel, and today I've got to say, joining me is Ryan. Thanks very much for coming, Ryan. How you doing, man?
Very good, very good. Yourself?
I've got to say, I've been doing videos now for 2.5 years. I absolutely love it, but I think today is the worst possible video I'm ever going to do in my life. Simply because what we're going to do is, you may have heard me talk about it already, I'm going to do fatty to fitty, i.e. me to Ryan. But I'm not going to get down to Ryan's shape and the expertise, but what we wanted to do is, you may have been seeing on YouTube, on the channel and on Discord now, and making mention to the fact that I want to get fitter. I want to try and make some positive changes, because especially now I'm in the bar scenario, it's hell. It really is. I think I've drunk more San Miguel Lights in the last 7 weeks than I think I've drunk in the last 10 years. And as you can see, it's taken its toll. I've got more chins than China. But the thing is, I spoke with Ryan about this, and he very kindly came in and we had a great chat. And what we're going to do is, I want to make a series. It's going to be 90 days. If you're in our Discord, jump in there. I will make a dedicated page, which Ryan will be there to answer questions, and I'll be in there showing you my progress. But it's going to be 90 days, and we're going to try to go from being fat to much fitter. Is that fair?
That sounds good.
And he's smiling about it.
Well, no, it's going to be enjoyable. There may be some painful moments, but you know, it'll be enjoyable.
Well, before we get stuck into what we're going to do, and guys, all seriousness, like, we make light-hearted joke about it, but in all seriousness, I see so many people that live here particularly, that come out here for their holiday. Holiday is fine, do what you want, have your 2 weeks, smash yourself to bits, no dramas, go home, and then you can get back on track again. It's a whole different ball game out here, because every day is a Saturday, every single night. So I know a lot of people, myself included, that you kind of come out here and you think, oh, that's right, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll go to the gym tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the enemy.
Isn't it just, you know? And it never happens. It never happens. So, but what Ryan's kind of going to do is do it step by step in a nice, easy way that everybody can follow. So if you are thinking, do you know what, I need to make a small change, often the small change gives you big results. So let's just go step by step, day by day, and we'll go from there. But before we start that, Ryan, where are you from, mate?
I'm from Kent, so southeast of the UK.
Yeah.
I moved to Pattaya about 10 days ago. I'm gonna be here for a while. I've been to Thailand many times before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've following you for years, and I saw that you was going to do that challenge, and I was like, you know what? I've done something similar to that in the past.
Okay.
Can I offer my help? You know?
Yeah.
And now we're here.
And now we're here. So in terms of like your background, I mean, obviously, you know, you're in good shape, no doubt about that. I mean, what sort of progressed you into getting into the sports and fitness side of things?
So sports and fitness, ever since growing up, I'd probably say from 18 onwards, I loved going to the gym. I never really saw much progress, didn't know what I was doing, just chucking weights around and just kind of thinking, oh, I'll just eat a lot and see what happens. Until I got about year 25, and I'm 31 now, so about 25, I started taking it seriously, looking at the fine details of training and everything like that. And as of last year, I thought to myself, you know what, I love this so much, why don't I help other people? And I was like, why don't I become a personal trainer? So I become online coach and personal trainer, and yeah, then now I'm here, kind of working online, and I just thought this would be a great opportunity to help a lot of people out, because, like I said, I've done something like this before. I hosted a big 8-week challenge specifically to gamers. A lot of gamers like myself. I was a gamer for many years, many lazy hours.
He's lost all credibility now.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Sega Mega Drive.
Not all of that, PC, you know. But yeah, many hours just being lazy, basically. And I wanted to kind of make a movement to kind of get loads of gamers fit and healthy again. And I gave loads of free content out. And it was amazing. There had hundreds of people really trying to get in shape and embrace the process. Look, it's not that difficult, and you don't need to make it too complicated, and that's what I think we want to kind of do a little bit here. Like, it doesn't have to be cardio every day, go to the gym, go for runs, all of that. You can take small steps, and you can make big progress.
Well, I think that's exactly what I want to do, because when I spoke to you before we did this video, I know from an individual point of view, you know, going to the gym is like pulling your teeth out, unless you're into the gym. And as I showed you my photos before, I used to love the gym. I used to go to the gym twice a day, separate my body parts, all that kind of stuff. Running, I was never really a great fan of. I did enough of that when I was in the army. But the problem, I think, is a lot of people, I'm not going to the gym. And also, it's quite intimidating. You know, if you are overweight, and maybe you're not lifting the big heavy weights, so you've got some grunt and groaner in there that's giving it roid freaks, some of that. You know, it's like, well, no, I don't want to be part of that. But we're not going to do anything about that, are we? We're just going to do it nice and steady, step by step.
That's the thing. I think you just want to make it as accessible to everyone. The more people jump on board with this, the better. And the more we make it simple and show you that it doesn't have to be like some grueling, horrible process, and you can still make progress little by little. I think everyone can jump on board.
So you mentioned earlier that you've done a lot of work with other people in the past. What's been your biggest achievement when you think to yourself, do you know what? I remember this guy, he was this size or in this condition, and now he's in this shape, and now he's in a much better, I mean, without mentioning names, but I mean, in terms of like someone that you've worked with, what's been your most proudest moment? You think, do you know what? Look what you've done over those years.
I'd say proudest moment, I had a guy recently finished with me for 6 months. He was with me, had a terrible diet, you know, snacks, fast food, everything like that. And I think many people can maybe relate when you try and give up snacks. You always have that huge craving to just jump back on next week. You really want some snacks or bad food. And he was absolutely convinced he could not crack the habit. Didn't really like the gym too much, didn't really like cardio. And within 6 months, he's a completely different person. And I think people underestimate how much, not only just getting in shape physically, but what it does to you kind of mentally, how much you will change for the better as a person, like your mood, your energy, your mental well-being, your focus. There's so many different factors to this where it's a much bigger deal than people think. It's not just slimming down. And that I witnessed that firsthand with this guy, and now he's a completely different person. He's just got so much confidence. He's just, the way he talks is different, and it's like just from going from point A to point B in 6 months. It's not really a long time, 6 months, and completely different person. So that for me was just such a wholesome moment. To witness someone grow like that. And I hope with like this kind of journey, we can set people off on the right foot to go through a similar process. Yeah,
I mean, one of the things that we're going to do is I will detail every single day in Discord. We'll have a dedicated platform in there in Discord. I'll detail everything I do every day. So I'll say, you know, I've done my 30-minute walk and I'll video stuff, or whatever it is that I'm going to be doing during this path of our journey, I will detail. One of the things I think that you hit on there, Ryan, which is a really important point, is step by step. I remember when I joined the army, and when I got to the army, I thought I was fit, and these guys just destroyed me. They just made me run further than I ever imagined I could do. Sleep deprivation, training, all these things. But 42 weeks later, when I passed out and I then became an actual member of the British Army, I'd done my basic training, it was just normal. That was fine. You could just deal with it. And I think that goes back to what you're saying. If you go in there, one of the biggest mistakes I think that I see people make is, right, I've never exercised before, I'm going to go in the gym, I'm going to lift loads of weights, and then they spend 3 days walking around like a robot because they can't move.
Yeah.
Whereas we're going to do it so we're no gymming, but you're going to put in places where gym's optional, correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to kind of take it to the next level, if you want to go do a little bit of cardio or the gym or whatever, I'm more than happy to kind of provide some help in that aspect, but it's not mandatory. You know, that's completely on your own back. You can still make progress without. But yeah, if you want to go ahead, it's kind of like, I always see it as more input, more output. If you want to go hard on cardio, hard on the gym, yeah, you'll probably lose a bit more weight and maybe gain some muscle along the way. But it's not necessary. I think that's the big misconception. And like starting bit by bit is the key element, because like you say, when someone says, right, I want to lose a bit of weight, their first thought, right, I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start eating salads. And then all of a sudden, your whole lifestyle is just changed. And all of a sudden, you think a week in, you think, this ain't for me. And that's at like a perfectionist level. That's like some bodybuilder competing for a show, where that's not really where you take the first steps.
Well, I did include salad in my McDonald's burger.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I kind of got there half bit.
You got your vitamins in there. Yeah.
Something like that. So in terms of like, let's talk about myself. So, you know, I think I'm about 102 kilos, I'm 5'8", so I know I'm overweight, I'm carrying a lot of body fat. In terms of what we're gonna do, when you sort of think ahead and think, right, and I will, the one thing I've always, and people that know me will know this, when I say I'm gonna do something, I'll do it. I won't just half-heartedly do it. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm not gonna just, I'll do it, mate, and I won't do it. I will do everything we say we're gonna do. There are gonna be times when I'm gonna fall off, I know that, I absolutely know that. There'll be guys that will come in and say, Trev, mate, great to see you, great to, blah, let's have a beer. So in terms of like your vision about what we're going to do and you guys that are taking part, where do you see me in 90 days time? What would you feel that would be my end sort of progress where we say, right, 90 days time, Trev, that's where we are. What do you think I'm going to be like?
Okay, weight-wise is always a hard one to judge because you never know how much someone responds well to kind of weight loss. So to give you like a number of where you might be, I'm going to say definitely under 100 kilograms. Let's get you into the double digits. But in terms of how you're going to feel on the inside, we firstly want to tackle your sleep as well. You said you didn't really get much sleep, and maybe a lot of people are the same.
Yeah, I average 4 to 5 hours a day. That's it, max.
And that's it. We need our kind of 7 hours, and that's a stretch. But obviously, we don't go straight in day one. Say, right, need 7 hours straight away. Take it bit by bit. But certain stuff like that, hopefully your sleep quality improves, which might help your focus. They might help your energy levels, and a bit more kind of motivation, a bit more kind of get up and go. And I think the main thing is. So always from this point onwards, let's say after the 90 days, always be mindful of like your current situation. So, you know, not just thinking, oh, I'm just going to have this meal, oh, I'm just going to have these 7 beers. You know, you think, you know, maybe 4 or 5, you know, something like that. You make small steps and always be conscious of like what...
I'm thinking,
bit by bit here,
thinking only 7? Only? Is that per afternoon, then into the evening?
It's a Monday evening, not a Saturday.
All right, okay. I mean, we laugh at a joke about beers here. I mean, obviously with your knowledge and your expertise in the industry we're talking about here, I mean, when you go into a bar, and, you know, we're all different, we're all individual, but what would you suggest would be the best go-to drink in order to have a night out with the lads and not do yourself too many damage? I mean, like, for me, I'd probably do, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 San Miguel lights, then I'd go on to some spirits and probably a few shots and some other bits and pieces and finish it off with a kebab or a curry. I'm guessing that's going to change.
That's quite a leap, yeah. That's quite a bit, but
just like, being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of, I've got clients myself, and I always preach that like you can still lose weight and enjoy some beers at the weekend. You can still do that.
That's what you're saying.
That's it. That's why I moved to Pattaya.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can make kind of small steps before you go out. So maybe reducing your do a little bit of intermittent fasting prior to the day. During the week, you maybe have a little bit less meals. So when you get to that weekend, you've got a little bit of an allowance.
Okay.
So even if you kind of have loads on the weekend, you've been quite good throughout the week and been quite active. And then when you go overboard at the weekend, when it balances out of a week spread, it's actually not that bad. You know, so I think that's the kind of way to approach it.
You mentioned a word there that's, to be fair, I've got an incredible channel. The guys on this channel are just unbelievable. They're really, really good. And you mentioned there about intermittent fasting. And it's a subject that we've touched on in the past. People have been sending in incredible in-depth ways to do this, like 16-hour fast or stuff like that. I mean, how effective is fasting? Is it really as effective as people say?
I mean, fasting is a tool, it's not a diet.
Okay.
So essentially, I could intermittent fast and eat for 1 hour a day. But if that 1 hour I had 7 meals and absolutely went for it with some beers, I'm obviously not going to lose weight. So it's a tool. So for example, when you wake up, a lot of people out there can actually skip breakfast and still function.
Yeah.
So that's the tool. And a lot of people say, you know, try not to eat before you go to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not too much research to say that like that's gonna, if you eat a meal and then go to sleep, you're gonna put all that on as fat. It's not really the case. It's more so if you were to have just a small meal, just to get you off to bed nicely, and just not to interrupt your sleep. I think that's the main key. So when you restrict yourself to a window of say 8 hours of eating, if you overeat in that 8 hours, it's still going to put on weight. But I feel like with intermittent fasting, you can maybe skim off a meal during the day. And you can maybe, rather than having 4 meals, you're now having 3. So that's how it can be a tool to...
But I said to you the other day when we were chatting, and you said, yeah, you've got to drop a meal. I only eat twice a day anyway.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's good.
I mean, I literally, I'll wake up silly o'clock in the morning because I don't sleep. So I wake up, I don't eat when I wake up. I'll have a cup of tea and then I'll come in, I'll do what I've got to do. So my first meal normally be about between 10 and 11, something like that. And then I'll have another meal probably about 7 o'clock at night, which is about the time when I'm really like starving. And then that's it then. And then I'm on to like 10 bottles of beer, I guess.
Well, I was going to say, it sounds like your Saturday nights are big nights then.
No, that's a normal day.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
That's my normal day. This is why we've got to get me out of this system.
Yeah, I think you just got to analyse everything of the week, kind of think like, right, how much you eat. If you only eat 2 meals a day, let's look at the portion size, which I don't think is going to be too hectic. I mean, to put on weight with 2 meals, they're going to have to be some monstrous meals.
Yeah, I don't even eat a big meal.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the drinking, I would say.
In terms of your food, I mean, obviously, you know, we all eat. We all like to, I like a bit of this, or I like a bit. I mean, I'm partial to a curry. I love my curries, and I eat a lot of Thai food. Now, I know Thai food. You have to be careful because there's a lot of MSG and sugar in. And, you know, I myself, guys, when I go out and get my Thai food, I always say, like, don't put no sugar in because you see heaps of sugar in.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, wow. I mean, in terms of, like, meals that you can just say off the top of your head that are safe meals that you could eat without worrying too much about putting calories on. I mean, are there any sort of like go-to meals? Well, if you want a meal, Trev, go and have maybe this or this. Is there anything like that that's a kind of like a safe zone?
I mean, obviously it depends how they cook. Obviously, if you watch them and say, right, you know, ease on the salt, ease on the sugar and whatnot, that's obviously a good start. Soups are always good. You know, they're probably not going to fill you up too much. But I think if you can make a meal really high in protein, it becomes more satiating, which essentially means it keeps you fuller for longer. So more protein in your meal. So if you get something like just a chicken and rice, you know, if they kind of, well, like a pad kapow or whatever with chicken, or as long as they go quite easy on the salt and the sugar and whatnot, if you ask for a little bit more meat, a little bit more chicken, that would be a nice meal because it's got your carbohydrates, which is great for your energy, get a consistent energy throughout the day, and high in protein, which is good. Protein is just great anyway. It burns more calories while you're digesting it. It's just more satiating, makes you feel fuller for longer, and it's a nice meal. You know?
I want to throw this at you because we haven't actually touched on this, but I was speaking to a person yesterday and I thought, you know what? This is a fantastic idea, and I'm going to do this, guys. Starting on the 1st of this month, I'm going to do this, and I think Ryan's going to say, what a great idea. And it wasn't my idea. So I had a gentleman come in yesterday, he was having a few beers, and he knows I'm going to do the Fatties to Fitties 90 days. And he said to me, he said, Trevor, he said, you realise how important drinking water is. And I said, yeah. I said, I know about hydration. I've done my bit in the past. I know I'm a bouncy castle right now, but I never used to be. And I'm like, yeah, I do understand. He said to me this, and we're going to do this, guys. He said, why don't you, when customers come in, he said, water here is just, it's literally like satangs. It's nothing. It's just cheap as chips. So I'm going to go and get small bottles of water, little bottles of water. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically say to people, guys, when you come in, if you have a couple of beers, we're going to give you a bottle of water. Have a couple of beers, we're going to give him... Sorry. Cheers, mate.
Exit spots, yeah.
Hey, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give people 3 bottles of water. They're not going to pay for it. They can get 3 bottles of water. So if they're having a couple of beers, and if they drink it, it's up to them. But if they don't drink it, well, then that's no dramas. Because rehydration is very important.
Yeah, for sure. And alcohol dehydrates us. So, I mean, the more beers you're having, the more kind of water you should be having as well. So it's kind of like, you know, if you want to reduce your hangover or whatever, if you're having water between your beers, that's going to really, really help. Because a lot of the time when you get a headache, it's usually down to dehydration. So yeah, I think that's great. I think we're going to be sweating a hell of a lot more in this weather, regardless of rainy season or not. So I think, yeah, water generally, even if you're drinking or not, I feel like even if you don't have any beers of a day, so have some water. Yeah,
well, that's what we're going to do, guys. So starting on the 1st, we're going to give away small bottles of water. So if you have a few beers, we're just going to put a bottle of water and say, well, you drink it. If you don't, you don't. But it's just our way of trying to keep you rehydrated so that when you wake up in the morning, you haven't got a banging hangover and you think, do you know what, that was easy, I'll go and do it again tonight.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the evening, guys. I'm only joking.
So you know what, it could be a tactic as well, like for yourself. If you was to have, like, 2 beers and 1 water, you might get to a point at night where you're like, oh, I feel a bit bloated because you've had so much liquid in, and then you might not want another beer, or maybe I'm high hopes here, but maybe you're not going to have that one malted beer or so.
I mean, I only get to the point where I don't want any more beer when I just physically can't drink any more beer. So then I think to myself, I'll go on to spirits.
Okay, yeah.
So that's when I just sort of move, and then when I can't drink spirits anymore, I go on a shot. So
it's like a levelling system.
It's a scale of quantity. You know, start with a beer, then down to a glass, then down to a shot. After that, generally speaking, it's just all gone out the window. So I don't really care. I mean, in terms of drinks, you know, what are safe drinks? As in like calories. I know not in alcohol content. But in terms of calories, like what are safe drinks? So if you were going to go out tonight, if I said, right, come on, mate, we're going out tonight, what would you drink?
I mean, if I was going to be like, right, let's start losing some weight, let's start really kind of focusing, I would probably have spirits with like a diet mixer.
Okay.
Or so. So a lot of people opt for vodka soda water, if you can handle that. Personally, I don't like that. But if you can handle it, vodka soda water is always a great option. And just, I'd say like vodka diet lemonade, or vodka diet, or just any kind of like spirits is going to be better than beer, for sure. But beer is a weak point, for sure.
So my cheat day, have I got to stick to spirits, or can I do some beers?
I think do some beer. Yeah, you can do some beers on your cheat day, coupled with the water.
Okay, no, that's a deal. No, I'll do that. That's a deal. So when they say like such and such light, as in a beer, I mean, is it a bit of a kidology, or is it like? I mean, just to make you feel good?
When they put stuff on labels such as high in protein or low in sugar or low in fat, the actual rules for them to be able to put that on the labels and stuff is so minimal.
Is it?
You know, and there's certain things, you know, when you have like, I mean, take that for an example, San Miguel Light. I haven't looked at the kind of calorie content or whatnot, but who knows? Maybe they reduce some of the calories slightly, but then add like more sweeteners in to make it like a little bit.
I think it's 100 calories a bottle, I think. And
Okay.
I think San Miguel Zero, I think, is 70 calories a bottle. I think. I don't know, but I think that's
I
pretty
mean,
much.
if so, that's quite all right, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Because-
mean, when I do 15 bottles, and I think I've done 1,500 calories, that's not too bad. Guinness has got to be much more in
Oh,
calories.
yeah, I think that really, really would be.
Yeah, so you Guinness drinkers out there, boys, got to be careful. All right, well, look, what I want to do now, just want to ask you very quickly, we're going to take on this 90 days, this Fatties to Fees. What are the changes I'm going to be making that you know are ahead? What am I looking at doing?
So for you, more walking for
Okay,
one. So no running, nothing like that. So, you know, if you're going to take a motorbike to 5 minutes down the road to go grab some groceries or whatever, and it's going to be maybe a 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk, walk it. You know, that's 15 there, 15 back. A nice half hour of walking per day, I think, is a nice, reasonable amount.
Yeah.
And if you think to yourself, you know, it gets to maybe 6 o'clock, you know, I could probably go for another walk. You know, always reassess. Be like, yeah, could I do more today?
Okay.
I think just getting general activity level every day, trying to hit a certain amount of steps. So I'm not going to give you like a step target. Just be mindful. You know, have I done 30 minutes of walking today?
Okay.
You know, so
Yeah.
if you can walk rather than take a motorbike, I'd try to opt for that.
Okay.
In terms of like your diet, sounds great. I mean, 2 meals per day. I'm pretty sure you're not going to be in a calorie surplus to be putting on some weight. I think you just got to be mindful, like every day, of your drinking. You know, obviously you can't help it. So if any of you guys come and say, "Oh, Joe, I'm going to go buy you a beer," you know, you can't help that.
It's your fault.
Yeah. But I think the main thing is just at the end of every day, just always be mindful of like, could I maybe swap that beer for a vodka soda water,
Okay.
or you know, have the beer one beer, one water, or something. You know, Trevor's already said you want that one cheat day a week.
Yeah.
He wants his Saturday.
Yeah, I want my Saturday, yeah.
And that's fine. You can just make kind of allowances, like I said before, throughout the week. So have your 2 meals. Really try and cut back on the alcohol throughout the week. So if you have 15 beers, you have 1,500 calories worth on the Saturday. You've earned that amount of calories in allowance throughout the week, and you'll probably still be in a deficit to still lose weight.
So during the week, am I still able to have like some spirit drinks instead of beers if I swap spirit for beers?
Yeah, I would say have some throughout the week and just kind of see how you go. That coupled with only having your 2 meals and getting a little bit of activity of walking in here and there, I think you just see the progress over time and see how you feel, how everything starts changing and stuff.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go, guys. So what we're going to do, like I said, Ryan's very kindly going to be a big part in the Discord. Not just for me, but for you guys as well. If you've got dietary questions or exercise questions, maybe you want to commit to a different program and you want to work one-on-one with Ryan, I'll put all these details in the Discord group. Get in touch there, guys, and just ask the questions. And I'm sure once you've asked the questions, you know, Ryan will be very happy to help you out and make sure that he puts you on the right pathway. I'm looking forward to this. You know, I'm a stubborn old fool, even though I'm fat and overweight now. I never used to be. I used to be very, very committed. So I'm not going to be committed to going like, let's go gymming it like we've discussed, but I am going to commit to this 90 days. So when you come in during the Monday or Sunday through to Friday, no beers for me, guys. If you want me to have a drink, it's got to be a vodka and a diet drink. I won't do any beers in the week. If you see me drinking a beer in the week, grass me up. Just grass me up. Okay? Put it in Discord and say he was having a beer. Don't lie though. No mugging me off. But on Saturday, yeah, we're going to do it. So guys, please follow the information. I'll put all of Ryan's contact details in the description of the video down below, so you can get in touch directly, or you can jump into Discord like we spoke about, and let's see where these next 90 days are going to take us.
Yeah, and I think, guys, like if you're all taking part, I think the main thing is, like, share your progress and share how you're feeling. That's the one thing that I felt when I kind of did this before, was like everyone brings each other up. Obviously, we're all going to be looking at you. You got a lot of weight on your shoulders at the moment.
I've got a lot of weight. Not just my shoulders, my chins, my belly, my arse, everywhere.
We're all got to be keeping tabs, right? You're going to do the daily updates, you know, how you're doing, what you've been doing and everything. And I feel like it's up to you guys as well. If you're going to take part, share your progress. If you've gone for your walks today and you're like, you know what, I actually feel a little bit better, share it, because it helps everyone else go, you know what, maybe I need to get involved too as well.
Yeah.
And like I say, the more people we get involved, just the more people that you can hopefully make that positive change.
I definitely agree. And the nice thing is we've got a fantastic start because the 1st and 2nd of this month, 31st and 1st of this month are no alcohol days. So I can't even have an alcohol drink. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. So there we go.
Yeah.
Right, well there you are, guys. That's it for today. Thank you very much. I'd like to say it starts in Discord on the 1st. Be there. Let's do this together. Let's encourage each other. Let's work together, and let's see what differences we can make. And all jokes aside, guys, if you are serious, doesn't matter what level you want to go to, get in touch with Ryan. He'll help you out, and he'll put dedicated programs, everything like that together. And let's see where we are in 90 days' time. Fatty to Fitty, 90 days. Let's do this. Been a pleasure, my friend.
Yep.
Thank you very much indeed. So the next few days, guys, I'm going to eat as much as I can, drink as much as I can, and just gorge on everything. Gorge on everything, just so that I've got my stuff in before he starts taking it all away from me. And then we'll go from there. All right, there you go. That's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Like we mentioned earlier, check out Discord. There's nearly 13,000 members in there. It's totally free of charge. It's just an app. You download it. Come and join the fun. Come and look at what I'm doing. It'll be a dedicated room. You can have a laugh. You can take the mickey out of me, whatever. It doesn't matter. Come in there, have a bit of fun. Aside from the fitness, there's a wealth of information on there. There's literally thousands of people in there. Many people with a lot of information that can share with each other. So please jump on Discord. And if you'd like to support the channel, there's a link to our members area. If you go to buzzingpattaya.com, on the left-hand side, bottom icon, you can see there what I can't show you here. All right, that's it from me. That's it from Ryan. Thank you very much for watching. And please, as always, guys, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.